to Martin and Roman's Sunday Best.
Yes, I'm here every Sunday morning with my old man to have a bit of a chat, a bit of fun with some famous faces, just to ease you into Sundays.
Now, joining us today is the man behind the massive hit Hold Back the River and the platinum-selling album Chaos and the Calm. It's James Bay.
And next to me is the Queen of UK Soul. It's Mica, everyone.
And just because we're keeping a safe social distance, our final guest is joining us virtually.
OK, Downton Abbey star Phyllis Logan is live from our home. And can you believe that show is about to celebrate its 10-year anniversary?
And there's one final introduction we need to make, and that is to the overseeing, beautiful, the Cloud.
Yes, as you know by now, we have access to the elusive Cloud, giving us a few games to just spark a little bit of rivalry between myself and my dad. Now, before you ask, Dad, what I'm about to do now, it's not a game. Right, it's not a game.
Well,
I want to ask a question. It's just a little question, but it's a little bit of a game.
Well, it's not worth a point.
Not worth a point for you. So don't get competitive already, all right? Just we've got two musical guests here, so I thought this is quite a good question. I heard about it this week. I thought I'd ask. Anyway, listen, guys. This week, in 1957, what do you think the #1 record was? I'm going to come to you, Mica, first.
That's
#1
cold,
record
man.
this week.
That's so before my time. Seriously, and I'm old. I can't think. Maybe it was something like an Elvis thing, maybe.
OK, you're going with Elvis.
Roy Orbison.
Already on along the right lines. Are you going with Elvis, James?
It's pretty before my time. Shadows. Frank Sinatra.
OK, Frank Sinatra.
Two different ends there.
Dad, what about you?
Well, I will tell you about this because I did. Do you know that show $1 Million Quartet? Oh. All about Elvis. And you were right, it is Elvis.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, because...
Oh, that's a good guess.
Because Elvis in '56 brought out Heartbreak Hotel, right? And in '57 he had his first UK #1 with All Shook Up.
Very good, very good. I had to wear the Elvis shirt today.
I know, you look like it. But did you know that Elvis used to dye his hair black using boot polish?
No.
Wow.
Wow.
Boot polish.
Yeah, sure, boot polish.
But it looked good.
He did.
Oh, he was
Stayed in place really well.
Just don't give him a hug.
No, not right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine
Goes
his
everywhere,
pillows?
it's right
What about
there.
his pillows? Can you imagine?
Boot polish. James, you never thought about boot polish in
Not
the hair?
yet, not yet. Maybe if I want all this hair to stand up, get all the boot polish in it, just get it all in like one. Maybe that.
Well, to be fair, when I was a kid, I always used to think that there was someone that used to use boot polish, and I actually think they did. I mean, take a look at this.
Oh, you are so...
You can almost see the line. A little bit there.
You should leave it out. I'll tell you what, I'm going to get my own back on you later in the show. Yeah.
James.
All right, we're going to play it like that, right?
Yeah. James, I want to start with you because I read the story about how it is that you came into the world, not that kind of story.
Musically.
Yeah, musically. Music. All right, I'm starting it musically. Now, with this, it was a bit of a meeting of the stars. The stars aligned, and someone shot a video of you and placed it onto YouTube.
Yeah, it was at a time when a lot of people were kind of becoming overnight successes. The record labels were sort of sniffing that out. People with 500,000 streams overnight or 1 million streams overnight. I was playing lots of open mics at the time. I was in a pub in North London playing. I was finishing my first song in my little 3-song set as this guy walked in with like one of these cameras, like a big camera on his shoulder. It wasn't discreet in any way. It was like a sort of fluffy, like boom mic bit at the end. He sat down. He bought himself a drink. He sat down, and as I started my second song, he started filming, and I spoke to him afterwards. He was one of the only people in the audience, bless him. Right. It wasn't Rand, and he said, I really liked your set. I filmed one of your songs. He told me, like, he said, I'm a cameraman, like, day to day. I'm just here for a drink after work.
Yeah.
And they made me walk my camera home. And he said, I'll put it on YouTube, and, you know, you can sort of spread it around or whatever. And I said, that's really kind, thanks. And I sort of carried on with my life. And, like, sort of 5 or 6 weeks later is when I came across it. And I found it, and it gave it a little production value, gave it a little filter.
Nice.
So it gave it some. It had about 22 views on it at this point. Right. Maybe 20, 22 views. But And I'd met with a number of record labels in London at this point, but there was a record label in New York who got in touch because they'd found it. And we're really not sure how they'd found it, but they found this video. And the next thing I know, they were flying me out because they liked the video. They said, you know, we'd love for you to come perform, play some more songs for us. And then the next thing after that, I was going back to sign a record deal.
Wow, that is cool, man. That is cool. That is really cool. And I mean, you know, all that time later, sold out tours, everything, sold out records. You got your brand new single as well, "Chill on My Heart," which sounds tasty.
It's a bit dark.
I appreciate the positive spin.
Yeah, positive spin. What is it about, mate?
Oh, it's about, to be honest, as bizarre as the title might seem, it's just about being madly and deeply in love and really wanting to kind of that intense energy. You want to sort of throw your arms around somebody and just be really selfish with them and have more and more and more of them.
Is it about your missus?
It is. It's about my girlfriend. Essentially, we've been together for 13 years.
Very nice. Very good. Get all the claps today.
You wait till you get to 40. You won't want to write any more records.
All right. I'll call you, Martin.
The video we've seen it with a couple of artists that have been lucky enough to come on the show as well. Recording the video in lockdown. You look fantastic in it. Let's take a look.
I wanna be in your touch. Sleep is so tough. It's burning up my mind. What would it feel like if you told me apart? Come on, chew on my heart. Come on, chew on my heart. I wanna be in your touch. Sleep is so tough. You're burning up my mind. What would it feel like if you told me apart? Come on, chew on my heart. Come on, chew on my
Loving that.
So good, so good.
You had this great idea, right? James had a great idea with the song for promotion because everyone's looking for new ways to promote everything nowadays, right? And you let people leave you voicemail messages.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Which is really weird, but did you get any funny ones?
I got, actually, there was a funny one. There was a lot of really heartfelt stuff. There was a funny one. It was a mum had brought her, like, 4- and 3-year-old, who apparently are big fans on, and she'd say, OK, say hi to James, tell me your favourite song. He'd say, hi, James, favourite song's Hold Back the River. And she'd ask lots of questions, and every time she went from the older son to the younger son would initially just repeat his brother every time. No! Yeah, Hold Back the River, hold back. OK, no, you're just repeating your brother. She was saying to the phone, just repeating your brother, just tell him it, and then he'd go, all right, let's let it go.
Yeah! You've been recording in lockdown, as you mentioned this there, but you also recorded an online duet with your brother recently.
Yeah.
How was that?
My brother is one of my inspirations, really. Like, he's only a little bit, tiny bit older than me, about a year older than me, and we grew up right next to each other, discovering all the music that I love and that he loves together, played in loads of bands together, and I guess whenever possible, it's fun to get together, even in lockdown, which means we couldn't sort of get together.
Yeah.
To collaborate, be musical. I hope it's something that will just always happen. And it's always nice to sort of go back to that, because like I say, when we started out, we were in every band together. He was the lead singer, I was the guitar player on the side, sort of thing. And we wrote all the songs.
So is it a family band then? Is that what you got?
I mean, you know, one way or another, yes. We don't sort of go out and tour together all the time, but
See?
it might know all about.
No, I'll tell you why I'm asking.
Don't.
It's because
Please
I've
don't.
got a
Please
family
don't.
band.
Oh, yeah.
Me, Shirley and Harley,
Don't show it.
Harley Moon, right? And we sing together.
Don't show it.
Look, no,
Don't show it.
No, I will show it.
Don't show it.
Do you want to see it,
Come on.
Alicia? Do you want to see it?
I want to see
I want to see it.
You want
I'm
to see
ready.
it? Right, put it on.
1, 2, 3, 4. Jesus is on the main line. Tell what you want.
That's right.
I can't. Stop that. Stop, please. Please. Yeah, fine. Yeah, I got it.
Gospel, baby.
Jesus is on the main
harmonies.
line, but he's just on hold for now. Okay. Wow.
Baby.
Look, James, listen, great talking to you.
Thank you for having
James's
me.
new single, Chew on My Heart, is out now.
Yes. Now, we've absolutely been loving your Sunday selfies. Now, on our social medias, we asked you to send in pictures of what you've been up to, OK? During the show, whilst you're watching it on a Sunday. Here's a lovely one of my old man. He was relaxing. There he is. Yeah, that's what my dad gets up to on a Sunday. And also, during the show last week, here is George, who drew a picture of me versus Dad whilst watching the show. So, George, thank you so much for that.
Amazing, George.
And don't forget, if you want to send in your Sunday selfie next week, then get in touch. Drop us an email to sundaybest@cactustv.co.uk, or you can just tweet us. Do whatever you want, right? Just send it in. Time for a quick break, but still to come, we're going to be asking Mica Paris about playing footsie with Whitney. I'll let you answer that one. We'll also be finding out from Phyllis Logan if they're making a Downton Abbey sequel.
Plus, we'll let you know what we think you should be binge watching this week.
See you in a minute.
Martin and Roman's Sunday Best.
James Bay and Mica Paris are here, and a little later on we're going to be joined by Downton's Mrs Hughes. That is Phyllis Logan. Now, every Sunday morning, my dad and I, we go head-to-head in a couple of fun games just to find out who's better. OK, is it Kemp Senior or Kemp Junior? And to help us with this task, we're joined by some very special families.
Yep, and on my side today, we've got the Newham family from London. That's Mum Siobhan, that's twins, 16-year-old Emily, 15-year-old Jasmine, 13-year-old James, 9-year-old Annabelle, and 7-year-old Daniel. Well done, well done. How are we doing, guys? You OK? Good. All right, so I love this story, right? Now, Siobhan, at the end of their garden, they've got their front garden, they've got a tree. Sure. And Siobhan has been making masks, face masks that people are wearing nowadays, right? And she hangs them on the tree, so as people walk past, they can pick them off and take them on their way. Absolutely brilliant. How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing it for months now. I would say about almost 3 months.
How many have you made?
Until just now, I've crossed my 4,300 masks that I've stolen from my family.
You know, my mum used to be a machinist, right, when I was a little boy, and there was kids' dresses everywhere. Is that the same with you, with masks?
Yes, all over the place. It's all over the place.
I bet they are. Listen, and Siobhan and the family has kindly sent a whole bag of masks that they have made. So we're going to hand them out to everybody.
Oh, love it.
And you can wear them with pride.
Thank you so much. And on my side, it is the Papworth Heidel family from Cambridgeshire. Mum Sarah, Dad Carl, Imogen 10, 8-year-old Josh. Guys, hello. Now, Imogen, I want to start with you because you worked out that there are 7.1 million key workers. I mean, that is incredible. And as we can see there, you're a massive football fan. Love the fact that you got an Arsenal shirt on, so thank you so much.
Yeah.
But you set yourself a very ambitious challenge. I'll let you tell everyone, what was the challenge that you set yourself?
It was a challenge to do a key field for every single key worker in the country. And so I saw Captain Tom on the news, like, walking around his garden. And he inspired me to do something to help as well. I thought, because I love football, I could do some key PRPs. And I wanted to do a key PRP for every single key worker in the country. And then when I found out there was 7.1 million, it came as a bit of a shock. But I could do it if I had some support from other people.
Oh, well, mate, listen, it is a fantastic thing that you've done. You've had support from big names as well. Gary Lineker, he's given you some support. What did Gary say?
Good luck with the next 3.5.
Very good, very good. Hey, well, listen, keep doing these keepy uppies. And you know what? I actually want to give it a go myself just to see how many that I can get through right now. All right, so steady here. Yeah, go on then, go on then. Oh, yeah, look at the touch. Look at the touch. All right, here we go. So you've got to count me in.
Go on, then.
Can I just say, this is a foam ball. This is a foam ball.
Let's stop the excuses.
This is a foam ball. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that was a practice. That was a practice. Give me another one. Give me another one. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll go with 12. We'll go with James. I know you're a good baller. There you go. We'll give him a new ball. New ball. In it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'll take that. Don't sit down. You can't play. Sit down. Your hip's bad. Sit down.
Oh, so
Sit down. You know what I'm saying.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying. Yeah! Right, it's time to play our first little game. Mica, you're on my side with the Packworth Highlands family. James, you're with my dad with the Newins.
but we need a judge to decide who's going to be declared the winner. And we are thrilled to be welcoming back a granny who's so full of wisdom and wise words. It's our Nan Ruth.
Yes!
How are you doing, Ruth? Good to see you again, lovely. How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Good. Now, I heard that you have been listening to a bit of Spandau Ballet on the old Alexa. Is that right? You enjoying it?
Do you mean Duran Duran?
Yes!
Ruth, got with the jugular. Oh, lovely.
Sorry.
There you go. Now, Nan Ruth, I understand you're expecting a great granddaughter. Is that right?
Yes, any minute now. The first granddaughter in 26 years. All the last 7 have been boys.
Well, listen, congratulations. So Nan Ruth is here, and it is time to play a game called Lyric Maestro. Right, now Nan Ruth has a series of song lyrics, hopefully not Duran Duran ones, that she's going to read out. And we have to name that song. It's very easy, right? We asked each of our families to make a homemade buzzer. So let's test these out. Packworth Highlands, do you have your buzzer? Let's hear it.
Yeah, that's a good one. And the Newins, let's see your buzzer. Hey!
The exact same sound. It's going to be tough.
It's going to be complicated.
It's going to sound like Gordon Ramsay's kitchen.
That's right.
Great. Right, so basically, buzz in with your guesses as quickly as you can. James, if you know the answer to it, you're going to have to tell your family to buzz in.
OK.
I won't accept answers before buzzers, OK?
Right. I can't tell them the answer.
No.
Well, you've got to get them to buzz in first, and then that's it, right?
Go.
The team with the most correct answers wins. Nan Ruth, you good at keeping score, yeah?
Yes.
Wicked. Right, we are ready. Nan Ruth, hit us with the first one.
Oh, baby, baby. Oh, baby, baby. Oh, baby, baby. How was I supposed to know?
Buzz in, Newins!
Oh, baby, baby.
Yes, they've done it. We've got Packworth Idol families. I think we've got it, right.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
One more time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it that?
Yes!
We knew it. We'll be quicker.
You in family, you've got to be quick. OK. Nan Ruth, next one, please.
Remember those walls I built? Well, baby, they're tumbling down. And they didn't.
Look, we've got it. Newins have got it.
Didn't even make a sound.
Newins have got it.
Yeah, that's what Halo by Beyonce.
Very good. Right, OK, so that's one apiece. Go on then. Nan Ruth, next one, please. You're reading so well.
When the world leaves you feeling blue, you can count on me. I will be there for you. When it seems all your hopes and dreams...
Newins, we've got it.
Newins are in.
Is it Count on You by Bruno Mars? Count on Me? Oh, Count on Me. Count on Me.
It's not that. I don't think it is that. I don't think it is that. Nan Ruth, you can read on if you can.
When it seems all your hopes and dreams are a million miles away, I will reassure you.
Newins, go on. S Club 7.
You're saying S Club 7? Oh, man. You were there. You were there. I was there with you.
You were there with bells on.
James, what I'm more surprised is that you knew that.
It's a big tune.
Well done to both the families. It is time to officially find out who won, unfortunately. Nan Ruth, over to you.
Martin's won that game.
Thanks, family. It's been such great sports. Now, if your family fancies joining us on next week's show, we want to hear from you.
Yeah, drop us an email with your name, contact number, and why you'd like your family to be on our teams. Email to sundaybest@cactustv.co.uk. Now, Mica, thank you so much for coming on to the show today.
Oh, it's great. It's great seeing Martin again.
Oh, thank you.
Baby.
See?
Yeah, well, at least that makes one of you.
No, I thought so.
Now, we mentioned it earlier on. There's a very strange story between yourself and Whitney Houston.
Oh, my
It's a strange encounter.
What?
Tell me about it. Something to do both being in Germany at the same time, but it's a great story.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, you tell the story, and for you, it's just... But everyone's like,
Yeah.
But I was like 19 at the time,
Sure.
and we had to go to Germany to do the Top of the Pop show over there.
Yeah.
That's how you did it back then, you remember.
Yeah.
And we went there, and I was there, and I had my tiny little taxi that took me to the place with my little A&R man,
Yeah.
just one guy from the record company. We're sat there in the green room, and then this massive limousine comes along, and we're all like looking out, and it's Whitney. And she comes out with about 7 or 8 bodyguards, walks in, and is so sweet, humble, just beautiful. Did our performance, and says, why don't you come for dinner with us? We went for dinner. And while I was around the dinner table, she started playing footsie with me under the table. Like, literally. And, you know, I was from South London at that point. You know, I was 19. I didn't really know about that kind of footsie thing, you know, and I was a bit like, oh. And then my makeup guy said to me, she fancies you. What? What? And, bless. But after that, we became really good mates, really. And every time she came to London, I would go and see her. But yeah, she had a little thing, for me there.
That's nice.
I'll take it.
Yes.
She's gorgeous.
Story.
That is fantastic.
Gorgeous woman. Gorgeous.
Mica, your brand new show. It looks absolutely fabulous. It looks joyful. It looks emotional as well.
Yeah.
It's on BBC4 this Friday.
That's right.
The Gospel Truth According with Mica Paris. Now, when did you actually film this?
Well, we filmed this in November of last year.
Yeah.
And it took us like 2 months. We went everywhere. We went to Memphis, we went to Nashville, we went to Atlanta, we went to Los Angeles. And, you know, first of all, the subject matter was really the 6 greatest gospel songs.
Yeah.
Because I come from the church, I grew up in it, the whole 9. But it then took us to the plantation fields of where they were written.
Yeah.
And that was really heavy for me, because I have never been to a plantation field before for slavery. I've never seen anything like that. And then we went to the museums, too, in Memphis, the slave museums. I'd never been to a black museum, period. Not, I mean, let alone a slavery museum. So you'll see it. I was totally knocked back sideways with that. It really hit me. It hit me hard. It was intense.
I can imagine, but it's so incredible, the music that has come out of all of it, you know, of all the story and the story that it tells. I mean, there's so many to pick from. I mean, do you have a personal favourite?
There are a couple. I mean, for me, Amazing Grace is definitely up there.
Yeah.
Do you know? And the other one is Precious Lord. I mean, these are songs to my life.
My favourite song of yours, You're My One Temptation.
Oh,
it's just
baby.
absolutely beautiful. And I'll tell you why it's so special to me, shall I? Because Shirley and I have been together 40 years, right? But the first 6 years when we weren't married, Shirley was hell-bent on getting pregnant. Now, she couldn't, right?
Bless.
No, let me finish the story, right? And she couldn't. She had endometriosis, which is, you know, stops you getting pregnant, right? So, anyway, we go off to St Lucia, and we get married on this lovely little cliff top that's overlooking the Caribbean sparkling in the background. And we get through that quick wedding. Martin, do you love Shirley? Yep. Shirley, do you love Martin? Yep. You're married, right? And we go back to the room.
I'm sorry. Where is this going?
Right,
Where is it going? Where is it going?
Let me finish it.
Is it going? Just stop. Is it going where I think it's going?
Yeah.
All right.
And we go back to the room, me and Shirley, and we put on You Are My One Temptation.
Whoa.
9 months to the day, my little girl, Harley Mooney's born.
Oh, baby, I want to hug you right now.
It's the truth. Yeah.
Bless you.
Have you done it?
Yeah, it's finished.
It wasn't you, it was the other one.
It's finished. That's true. Great.
Oh, bless. That's really touching. I know, bless.
We've got to take a quick break. But we're going to be chatting more to Mica. Plus, we've all got some great suggestions to keep you entertained over the next week. See you in a few minutes.
Martin and Roman's Sunday Best.
Yes, we got up and out of bed this morning so you can basically have an entertaining lie-in. James Bay and Mica Paris are here, and a little later on, Downton Abbey star Phyllis Logan is going to be joining us from her home.
Now, we were just talking to Mica about a new show which is all about gospel music.
Yeah, and there's actually something really special about this as well, because you sang with the Kingdom Choir.
Yes.
In this. Now, the Kingdom Choir, they're famous. People would know them because they sang at Harry and Meghan's wedding.
That's right, yeah.
Correct. Now, be honest.
Yeah.
Did you ask them for any wedding goss?
I didn't.
I would have been in there.
I didn't. I didn't get a chance. We were so busy. There were so many of them. The choir. We had a great time, though.
It looked unbelievable. I mean, we've got a quick clip of it here.
Yeah. They sound great.
Unbelievable. As we said, this Friday it is on. And speaking of the Royals, I touched on it there. Prince William has asked you to be something very special, an ambassador for Centrepoint.
Well,
how did that come about?
Really humbling, you know. They just asked me, you know, the funny thing was I did quite a lot for Centrepoint back in the day. You know, when you stay up all night, freezing, and do that whole thing. I've done a lot of things for him in the past, but just to be asked by him to be ambassador for Centrepoint, it's like, it's very, very special, honestly. It's amazing.
It is an amazing thing. And, you know, keeping on the gospel theme as well, a new album.
Got a new album coming out, and also the first song from the new album is called Broad Daylight.
Yes.
And that was all about what happened with the George Floyd, Black Lives Matter. All the proceeds go to Black Lives Matter, which is great. Yeah. So I hope you like that song as well. We're just trying to do our best, aren't we? You know, that's what we try to do as musicians, creatives. We're just trying to give back and just trying to be service to humanity. That's what we're here to do.
You know something, I cannot believe you are a grandma now.
Yes,
right?
I'm a grandma.
It's a little Reuben.
Yeah, you got all that to look forward to, right? You got ages yet.
Bro, you better get on it quick.
Yeah, hurry up. What is going on?
Because he's going to suggest a song next.
But there was a time, you know, you were working at the time, weren't you, when he was born?
Well, you know what happened? I was on tour with Fame, the musical, and we were in Switzerland touring. And let me tell you, my daughter rang me up at 6 in the morning. Mum, it started. I was like, what? And I always promised her I'd be there on D-Day. So I got on the plane straight away, flew back to London, got in there with the husband. He's holding one hand, I'm holding the other one. Reuben comes out hours later, and then I jump on the plane, go back and do the show in the evening.
Now, you've got a lot of celebrity friends, right? I know, because you're big in that. I'm not just talking about Holly and Phil here, right? I'm talking about proper A-listers.
Yeah. Marty's terrible.
And if I name them, just give me a quick story, will you?
All right, go.
All right.
Give me.
Prince.
Well, OK, so Prince, I just literally went to my very first concert of his. I was 18, just turning 18. Just signed my record deal. Record hadn't come out yet. It was a private party at the Camden Palace. Yeah. And I'm there with my best mate. You were there, weren't you?
I was there.
I know you were there. I knew it.
Oh, my goodness,
yeah.
I was there.
And you remember Ronnie Wood was up there with the guitar?
Right. Yeah.
Right. So I'm standing in the audience thinking, like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I've got my ticket. That ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I can't believe he's on the stage. I love you. And he's going, and he's doing all, and he stops. And he goes, you're Misha, right? Sing. I was just like... Babe, let me just tell you, my shoes were killing me. At that point, I didn't even feel my feet. Gone. Yeah. And then I sang Just My Imagination, and I couldn't remember the words. I was so nervous, and I know that song. Like, we all know it, Just My Imagination by The Temptations. You know that song?
Amazing.
Gone. So I just held the note. I just went, it was just... But he loved it and he went mental.
What about Stevie Wonder?
Oh, Stevie, so bless him. So Stevie comes over, I get a call from his representative. Stevie he really wants some fish and chips. Can you help? I was like, what? Fish and chips? I'm like, well, I want to talk about Gig in the Sky and all that. So anyway, I took him to Lisson Grove. You know that famous one in Lisson Grove?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You know that one, right?
Yeah,
the best fish and chips place. Yeah. We walk in there, obviously he's like 4 bodyguards with him. If you saw the look of the people in there, they were just like... and he was just like, I just want some fish and chips, man. And they were like... And it was just... But he was so adorable. He was... Well, you've met him. He's a good
Salt and vinegar? Did he go for that
all of that.
thing?
Went to Salt and Vinegar, had it out, and honey, he was a happy camper. I'm very fortunate. You know, I have to say that humbly, like... They've all been really good to me, these people, over my career.
They've been good to you, but you have got a voice... Absolutely, that's out there with the best.
Bless you so. Thank you, Martin. It's very amazing. Thank you so much.
Well, listen, Misha, thank you so much for joining us today. And the Gospel According to Misha, the story of gospel music in 6 songs, is on BBC4 this Friday at 9 o'clock. Now, I know that New In Families has got a question for you as well.
What's the naughtiest thing you've done at church?
How old is he? Yeah. No, he's a smart kid. Oh, I tell you, all right, I tell you what, it's really bad because I fell in love with this little boy and we were just, see, we didn't have phones back then. The naughtiest thing I did was I kept sending him notes saying, do you like me? Tick the box, yes or no. And that was my naughtiest thing that I did at church.
Nice. I like that, I like that. And now, if the last few weeks of staying in have left you feeling like you've run out of things to keep you entertained, then the good news is we would like to recommend
Yep, our best picks from the stuff on the box and online.
Yeah, so let's start with some of the best telly to binge watch, right? Now, lockdown has had some very odd scenarios. One of the oddest scenarios that it brought for me was that, you know, when you had to go to the post office for anything, the queue was around the block. It was unreal, right? So I'm in South London, I'm queuing for the post office, about a 40-minute queue, lovely lady standing in front of me, waiting to go into the post office, in her PJs, Joanna Lumley.
In her pyjamas.
In her PJs, right? And Joanna Lumley's Unseen Adventures. Some would say she's my pal now. Some would say she never noticed me at all. Tuesday, 28th of July, 9 o'clock. She's come back, brand new 3-part series, sharing all the unseen footage of her previous ITV travels. You know what? Just take a look.
Travel is my passion. It's in my blood. Lovely. And I'm delighted if our programmes have dragged a few of you along the way. From as far east as Japan to Cuba in the west. I've unearthed a whole host of stories that we've never shown you before. Welcome to my unseen adventures.
I'll tell you what, I've seen all those and they are absolutely brilliant. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think Joanna Lumley should be the Queen.
I know, I love her. She's amazing.
She should just get promoted.
Yeah. I could listen to her voice all day long.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But next one from me is Talking Heads 2020 on the BBC iPlayer. Now, Talking Heads, do you remember Talking Heads?
Yeah, back in the day.
Alan Bennett monologues that all these great actors and actresses done back in the late 80s, right? Well, they've done a new version of it. And they've got actors like Martin Freeman and Meldon Staunton, Jodie Comer, all some of the best actresses and actors that are out at the moment, right? And you've got to check it out. They're all doing these monologues and bringing them up to date.
In a nutshell, I play the kind of girl who's very much at home on a bar stool and seldom has to light her own cigarette. That couldn't be further from me, because for a start, I'm not a smoker. I could if the part required it. I'm a professional. And you have to have as many strings to your bow as you can in this game. Having said that, I'm not a natural smoker. What's more, I surprise my friends by not being much of a party goer either. I'd rather curl it with a book, quite frankly.
That looks wicked. Really, really
Jodie
cool.
Comer, you enjoyed that, didn't you?
Mate, big fan of Jodie Comer.
Yeah, I know you are.
Say no more. Right. Now, what are you trying to give me trouble? BritBox is showing Mr. Selfridge, rerunning all 4 series. This is a great one, okay? Period drama about Harry Gordon Selfridge and his department store, Selfridge & Co. Not sure if it went anywhere. And a little bit of a tip, if you ever spot Martin Kemp in the Selfridges, it's because he's in the doghouse. Yeah, that's my mum's favourite place to go. And my dad's done something wrong. James, you got a recommendation?
So am I the only big Star Wars fan here? Anybody else?
Massive.
Oh no, I'm in it. I'm in it, babe. Yeah.
I actually went all the way to getting this Disney Plus thing just so I could see The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And there've been all these like little memes about this Baby Yoda thing. I was like, what's all this about? So I did all of that to watch The Mandalorian. I really enjoyed it.
My brother and his 3 boys sat and watched this, and Gary was going on and on and on about how good this was, and you've got to watch it.
It's sort of, you could even do it all in one go if you want. It's sort of a pretty big...
It's a bit like a Western, isn't it?
It's a bit like a Western. It's a good binge.
Oh, amazing.
I like it.
Misha?
like it.
What about you?
Well, my favourite one is Messiah. It's this series on Netflix. Do you know it?
I've
Messiah?
heard of it.
It's so good.
I've seen it, yeah.
Right?
It goes places.
Right?
Yeah.
And you just got to watch the next one. And the next, dangerous. If you've got stuff to do, forget it.
So it is essentially, within the realms of 2020, a man turns up and is going viral on the internet, and his name's not James Bay. It potentially is Jesus.
That's right.
Yeah, and he starts working with the CIA, and it all gets involved. Is this man really the second coming of Christ?
It's powerful, isn't it?
This show is going very Sunday morning, isn't it?
No, sorry.
I know.
Yeah, it really is.
So we've had all day.
You started it off with the family.
I know. Jesus is still on the main line.
That's right.
Right, hopefully that is your week ahead sorted. After the break, she's one of the nicest people in showbiz. Phyllis Logan is going to be here to tell us what is next for the cast of Downton Abbey.
Plus, we're going to go head-to-head in our final game. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Yes. Martin Roman's Sunday Best.
James Bay, Misha Paris been here all morning, but now it's time to welcome our final guest.
Yeah, now last time Phyllis Logan did a TV interview, her husband gate-crashed it in his dressing gown. Asked her to keep the noise down. Now, Phyllis, hello, how are you? Yay!
Hi, I'm very well, thank you.
Phyllis, I have to ask, have you prepped your husband this time?
No, he's not around just now, so he's not going to photobomb me this time.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
You can breathe easy.
Hey, now listen, everyone loves you, obviously, as Mrs. Hughes in Downton Abbey, and it's just been incredible. Can you believe that it's been 10 years?
No, I can't actually. 2010 we started, didn't we? And it's been a roller coaster, really, ever since then, even up to this present day. And people are still talking about it and still wanting more, strangely.
Listen, this morning you come on as well because you're working with Dementia UK, aren't you? How did you get into that?
Well, Jim Broadbent, beautiful, lovely Jim, fronted a little piece because we're all ambassadors for Dementia UK. So there was a few of us on talking about what we've been doing during lockdown, and then very poignantly spoke to some people who are dealing with either dementia themselves or who are carers for dementia, people with dementia, their loved ones. And it's a permanent lockdown for them, really, I think is what that demonstrated. But with Dementia UK, they've got these admiral nurses, and we haven't quite got up to 300 yet, but we're hoping that the more dementia nurses there are, the more people will be able to go to them and get practical help as well as emotional support.
And it's a subject that's close to your heart, am I right? Why is it so close to you?
Well, sadly, my mother-in-law, Kevin's mum, had Alzheimer's, quite severe, and she passed away in 2009. But she was diminished, and it was awful to see this lovely, vibrant woman who used to be the life and soul of the party. Suddenly, as Kevin said, she was a husk of her former self. It just makes you appreciate what people go through dealing with it.
I think it's a fantastic campaign, and I think it's something that, you know, you're doing a great job with it. And of course, I mean, you have been so busy with, there's loads of different things that you're doing currently. There's movies that are still yet to come out. You're voicing animations, but I want to talk to you about Highland Vet, right? Highland Vet, you're narrating Highland Vet on Channel 5. I just want to take a quick look at this.
Their tail pointing kind of that way, up on the top. And then the other calf is underneath it, upside down.
Two calves, one on top of the other and twisted together, are trying to arrive at the same time.
When it's twins coming together and you've got the feet of one calf and the tail of another calf, then I usually just phone the vet.
This is quickly turning into the most complicated cow pregnancy David has ever faced.
Well, I'll tell you what, do you ever get squeamish when you're watching a vet?
Gosh, no.
You don't?
No. I hate it when you're watching an operation, or I'm quite a fan of Pimple Popper. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about. Pimple Popper. And she cuts all these cysts out, and it's great. And when they start pixelating it, I get really cheesed off. Me and Kev sitting watching it saying, oh, come on, you know. Let's see the gory details.
You've got loads of stuff coming out, like Roman said. You've also got that movie with Timothy Spall, right?
Yes.
Who's one of my favourite actors. I don't know when that's due to come out, but hopefully quite soon. I did it last year up in Scotland. It's a kind of, I say, an OAP road movie, I suppose. And it was lovely to work with Tim again, because the last time I worked with him was 100 years ago in Secrets and Lies, when we played husband and wife. So we were reprising our duet husband and wife. I remember that. I remember. What's it called, the movie?
The Last Bus.
The Last Bus.
I'll tell you what, it is like buses, isn't it? You wait for one and all of them come along at the same time.
You're absolutely right.
I'll tell you what, Roman is a really good actor. Right now,
is he?
Yeah, he really is. So if you've got any things going, any shows going, any movies, you want to get him in. You know, I've got a picture here of him in the best role he ever did. Look. He was Alice in Alice in Wonderland at his school play, and Shirley, right? His mum said it was the best piece of acting she'd ever seen.
Oh, brilliant. Do you know, that was one of my very first jobs, playing Alice in Wonderland. I'm sure you did a better job than I did. But it was one of my first professional jobs, playing Alice in Wonderland. I looked very like that, actually.
Oh, mate, well, listen, we can watch Downton Abbey loads on BritBox as well. But I want to ask the question that I know you probably get asked all the time. You mentioned it earlier on. A sequel for the Downton Abbey movie. When are we going to see it? Is it ever going to happen? Have you spoken about it? Is there a whiff of the script? What is there?
Of course, we've spoken about it. We're all desperate, aren't we? Now, this is not a no, but it's not a yes either. I mean, this is what I always say. But watch this space.
Okay. All right. Phyllis, thank you so much, mate. So lovely to catch her there.
OK, it's time for the final game. And it's called...
Yeah, Photo Burst. So the cloud has a selection of photos which will be slowly revealed. Now, we have to guess which of today's guests is in the picture. The first team to guess it correctly gets a point. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Makes sense. Cool. Right. Cloud, please reveal the first photo. Where's that going? Is that an armpit? It's not. Who's that? Who's that?
Oh,
James.
It's me and a Ghostbuster.
You and a Ghostbuster, James.
Yeah,
So talk to me about this photo. What was happening?
Last September, a dream of mine came true. I was invited to go to Dallas to play Eric Clapton's Crossroads Festival. Wow. Eric Clapton's a big guitar hero of mine.
Yeah.
He's been holding this festival, which is for a rehabilitation centre in Antigua that he has, called the Crossroads Centre. He holds this festival every few years. It's just guitar legends, basically. And in recent years, luckily for me, they've been inviting kind of younger, newer generation guitar players in. And Bill Murray is always the MC, the compere, or he has been for the last sort of 3 or 4. So I rock up and I'm invited to do a set. Sheryl Crow asked me up to do Every Day is a Winding Road, which was a crazy, crazy moment.
Yeah.
And at the very end of the second night, I did get to be on stage with Eric himself and do a song with him and a load of other incredible players. And just wandering around backstage, if you're lucky, you would walk into the likes of Bill Murray himself, and he was kind enough to do a photo.
How amazing.
Very cool.
Crazy,
very
crazy.
good. Right, let's see our next photo. Remember, shout out if you think you know what it is. Right, here we go. I mean, that's suspect.
That's the moon, isn't it?
Yeah, no.
Is it someone's hair?
Hang on. Who we going with?
Someone's t-shirt.
Who's it? Oh. Mica, that's you.
Mica, that's you.
Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's me. We've got
Shout out.
Yeah,
That one.
no,
It's you.
Go on,
that was a really good night, actually.
What happened?
Yeah, we were at Chiltern Firehouse, and I was having drinks there, and then they all came over to my table, and we all had a right laugh. And he's a big muso, Cordell, as you know. Of
course he is.
He's a big muso, which I didn't know. You know me, I'm always like, you know my stuff. I'm that person, you know. So it was just amazing. They're all big fans, and we just ended up having a really good night.
Right, we're going to see the next one. But guys, you've got to remember here, right, we have to make it some form of game.
Got it.
So if you think you know it's about you, shout, you know.
All right, deal.
You ready?
Right, sure.
All right, here we go. Are they glasses? Are they glasses? That's an eye.
It's not. It's Misha.
No.
Oh, it's Ian.
Misha, it's not Ian, it's you. You got to say your name.
Ian Wright.
Go on,
then. Bless him. Oh my gosh, I can't remember where we were, but I saw him and it was like, I'm a massive Arsenal supporter. You have to understand.
Listen, join the club.
We go through a lot of pain, you know.
Yeah.
So when I saw him in person, it made the pain go away. We were having a bad moment. Arsenal, you know. He's a good guy. Known him for years.
I like it. Very good.
Now, Nan Roof, I think we know who won, but can you make it official?
I don't actually think anyone won, to be fair.
Well, there were 3 questions.
Yeah, 3 questions, and they all went to the end of the photo.
Can I say who won?
Go for it, yeah.
Ronan. Ronan.
And the overall winner of today?
Martin.
Oh, there you go.
I think that one's going to have to go to VAR. Anyway, that is our lot for today. If that's not enough for you, you can watch the whole show again on the ITV Hub.
Thanks to Nan Roof, the Newham family, and of course to James Burke.
Yeah, and also thank you to the Backbone Island family and Mica Paris.
We're back next Sunday with Ronan Keating, Courtney Act and Claire King.
Thanks so much for spending your morning with us. We will see you next week. Goodbye.
See you guys.